All right, good evening. I hope everyone is well. I'm back. It's just a little story time. One day, few about 2 weeks ago, was it about 2 or 3 weeks ago? I was taking my daughter to the T-Mobile, right? It's a very little small little plaza. It's probably about 4 stores in a little plaza. So she has some business to take care of with her some stuff she bought. So I parked right in front of the door. Okay, wasn't a whole lot of cars in the small ass parking lot. So she's inside, and I'm waiting for her. And the next thing I know, I look kind of in the rear view mirror. I see a huge. Listen, I don't know these vehicles. Okay, I really don't. Okay, car shit get in. I know what kind of cars I had, okay? And I had my very first car was a Nissan Altima, and ever since then, after that, I've just been getting Hondas. All right. Except right now I'm driving a Chevrolet. Okay. But anyway, so I look up, it's some big huge SUV truck, huge, just fucking huge, okay? And the person driving, I'm looking, and the truck was so damn close to my vehicle. I mean, like, close. Like, and you be careful about your cars and whatnot. And you don't nobody want to get hit and have to deal with all of that shit, right? So she had her window, the lady who was driving it, she was older. She had on some glasses. They was kind of like, looked like them, what we used to call them pop bottle glasses back in the day, where the lens is thick, right? She had her window rolled down, and she was saying something to me, so I rolled the passenger side window down, and she was like, my husband. She started telling me, she's my husband in the hospital. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck you talking about, bitch? You know what I'm saying? Look at what you about to do, about to hit my shit. She's telling me her husband in the hospital, and then she went on to say, he usually drives this. She said, she said, I can't drive it or maneuver it. And I just automatically said, I didn't mean no harm or nothing, but I said, I see, you know. I don't know, maybe that pissed her off or something, but she was telling me she couldn't drive the motherfucker. So me saying, I see, I don't know why that would, cause her any kind of frustration or anger, but it did. Okay. I guess it did. I don't know what she wanted me to say. Maybe she wanted me to just, I don't know, woo, 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 woo. I don't know what the fuck she wanted. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yet she still couldn't drive the motherfucker. And she was awfully close. I mean, she was way, even if she was able to park the way she was parking, even if she parked there, she wouldn't have been able to get out of the car without hitting my car. I mean, she wouldn't have been able to get out at all. So she started, when I said I see, she did look like, she scrunched up her face a little bit. She kept telling me her husband's in the hospital. And I was trying to tell her, I was like, okay, wait a minute, wait a minute. But she wouldn't listen. She kept saying, my husband in the hospital, my husband in the hospital, okay. So I look up, there's a car coming behind us, and she was trying to back up, and she almost hit that person, okay, in the car that was driving behind us, okay, to go to another parking space or whatever. And I was steadily trying to tell her, wait a minute, wait a minute. Because I was going to tell her, because I saw she didn't know what the fuck she was doing. So I was going to tell her, I'll back up. I'll back out. Let you stop. Just stop the shit, okay? Let me back out. Mm-mm. She just kept screaming and hollering that her husband's in the hospital. And I can't remember, just a whole bunch of gobbledygook that it really didn't make no sense, but she wouldn't listen. When I was kind at that point, and I was like, just wait a minute, hold up, stop, because if you're telling me that you can't drive it, you telling me you can't drive the vehicle, and you right by, and you about to hit me, and you're telling me about your husband in the hospital. I'm trying to assist you because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Okay, you about to hit me. You about to hit the man, or woman, whatever that was driving, and that was a big old truck too, whatever it was, big old vehicle. Behind you about to hit that person too. Okay, she wouldn't listen. She got mad. She threw up her hand, like talk to the hand type of thing in my face. So of course I started to get pissed at that point. I was already kind of pissed, like you're about to hit, you're about to hit my fucking vehicle. You're about to hit somebody behind us. You don't know, and you're admitting that you don't know how to drive this, whatever, this monstrosity of a vehicle, okay? And your husband in the hospital is neither here nor there. I like to try to be caring and compassionate, and consider people's situations. But at that point, with all that yelling that she was doing in my face and not listening, like, I'm trying to assist you here. I'm trying to assist you by telling you, let me just get the fuck out the way. Let me get me and my vehicle safely up out your motherfucking way, okay? So she steadily, but she wouldn't listen. She's steadily trying to pull in, steadily trying to pull in. She pulls in. Of course, how the car, well, the big ass truck, how it probably looked in the parking space. I'm telling you, the bitch didn't know how to drive it. So you know how the car looked. Was it in there in between lines? Hell no, it wasn't. Okay. So when she decides that that's all she was gonna do, she put her hand up toward me once again, did one of these numbers, and was yelling and screaming some shit. so, so of course I started yelling and screaming at her fucking ass too. Okay, fuck emotional control, bitch. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck it. I'm throwing the shit out the window because I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to assist you and all this kind of shit, right? By telling you, let me get the fuck out the way, but you won't listen. And she threw her hand in my face and kept telling me her husband is in the hospital. She was a very small woman. I don't even think she could really see over the dashboard that well. So she going off on me. I'm cussing her ass out. You understand what I'm saying? At that point. And I'm pulling out because I'm like, she can't get out the car. She's not going to be able to get out the car without hitting, or the vehicle, the truck, without hitting my vehicle. She's not going to be able to do it, okay? And if she hit my shit, it's going to be some fucking problems, bitch, because you won't listen, okay? So I said, so let me just get the fuck out of her way, okay? So I'm pulling out, and she's just yelling at me. And how you yelling at me and fussing at me when you're about to hit my vehicle and you're about to hit the person behind us, and you admit that you can't drive for shit? I don't know. It drives. You don't have to get a special license to drive that kind of vehicle. Okay, that kind of big ass car. You don't need no CDL. You don't need no special license, which means the motherfucker drives like all the rest of the goddamn motherfuckers. Okay. So my thing, that's what I think. Y'all may say I'm wrong. I don't know. I ain't never drove nothing that big. I done drove these many SUVs. Well, no, I did. The lady raised me had a van, a big old white van that I drove. And it drove just the same. You know what I'm saying? I drove that motherfucker all the way to Atlanta. Drove all over Atlanta. You live in Atlanta. Where I was staying wasn't in Atlanta. It was outside of Atlanta. I think she stayed about 30, 45 minutes away. So we was always on the freeway. So, okay? So while she's fussing at me and I'm cussing at her, then she did the typical, you too old to be cussing. That's neither here nor there, bitch. You don't want to take accountability for the fact that you don't know how to drive that motherfucker. You probably just don't drive well. You look like you might have some eyesight issues with whatever kind of glasses those she had on. You can't see over the fucking dashboard. You got the dog in the car that's probably barking his head fucking off, okay? And as I'm driving away to go to another space, she's following me. So, I get to cussing her out more, and then I called her a stalker. Bitch, why are you following me, bitch? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get away from your ass. You cause a lot of damage. You cause too much damage. Okay, and I said some shit to her. I mean, yeah, I said some rough ass shit to her. I didn't give a fuck at that point. But I told her, I said, look at how you parked. The motherfucking vehicle wasn't in there straight. It was this way. And half the front of the vehicle, the big old truck, was in the lane. The little bit of space, because I was in the what is it? The slot. The little bit of space that was left on my side, she she had her vehicle over in my fucking lane, in my fucking what would you call it? Parking spot. So when I told her, I said, bitch, quit following me. You a fucking stalker. I was like, look at how you parked. She stopped and she looked. So I didn't give a fuck. I was gone. I went to park somewhere else. So I was looking in my rearview mirror what she was doing. She got back in the truck. I guess to try to maneuver it, try to move it. But I guess she figured, fuck it. Because she couldn't. She started get in there. She was discombobulated. She had her purse on the ground. She couldn't figure out, do I put my purse in the car with me or do I leave it on the ground? And I would have loved to assist her, but when I tried to assist her in the first place, she was too busy yelling and screaming at me about her. I don't care for that. I see why your husband in the hospital. You don't listen. You a stress. You a stress attack. Okay? And, he might have wanted to get away from you. For a little while. Because she just she immediately, as soon as she just started rambling and talking and fussing and, and carrying on. And I said, you know what? I looked at it. I said, that's interesting, this whole shit right here, because it made me think about how people say stay in your own lane. She was clearly over in my lane. She wouldn't have been able to get out the car, and she was about to hit somebody else, and then wouldn't listen, but admitted that she didn't know how to drive it. Then why are you driving it? You pose a danger to society. I mean, the thing was huge. Now somebody said, well, maybe she needs to go. Then you get you a lift. You get you an Uber. If there's other people in your life, you call somebody and say, can you help me get to, because I cannot drive that big motherfucker. And I really don't want to kill myself and no goddamn body else on the motherfucking road. Nobody cares that your husband is in that. What do that have to do with me? I'm trying to help you, and then wouldn't listen. That's just like how people talk about people. You want to take somebody else's shit, like what I was talking about earlier, but you can't handle it. You want something big in life, but you can't handle it. You driving this big motherfucker, but you can't handle it. You're about to kill yourself, the man behind us, and possibly me and the poor dog that's in the goddamn car. So I just thought it was so funny looking at that. It's like a little, analogy or whatever of, I said, ain't that something? That's just like this whole thing about people wanting to take people's shit, and that's obviously, if they gotta steal it and all that, try to fill somebody's fucking shoes that they can't fucking fill, okay? Or either try to get over in somebody's space to cause damage, and will cause damage to yourself. And it goes into this. I was gonna make this separate video, but I'll do it right now. So you hear about people doing the what do they do? The car accident spells. Well, somebody had threw that my way last week a couple of times. I'm out there driving and shit. I mean, it was the wildest shit ever. I was like, oh, okay, people they throwing the car accident spells at me now. Okay, it happened like Not 2 days in a row, but it did happen 2 days. Crazy thing about it is that is for the people that's watching that do that or did that, because y'all probably watching. When y'all do that shit, do you think, do you, for those of you who watching who did it to me, because you watching, you was trying to get me to have an accident, some kind of car accident. Okay, got to get rid of her. All right. Do you take into consideration the other people who you don't know, who are innocent to all your bullshit? And I'm innocent to your bullshit too, okay? But, you know, do you take into consideration that the accident that you are hoping to cause for someone, you know, you do your potions and whatever y'all do to do that shit, okay? I just had a vision. I saw somebody with two little cars. I don't know. I guess you at your little table with your candles hitting each other. I don't know. Whatever you fucking do. But when you do that shit, do you take into consideration the other people, the innocent people, other drivers, that they might get hurt or die as well? Or possibly the accident that you're trying to cause for one person, that person come out unscathed and the person who they got in an accident with might be killed. Do y'all think about that? Or you just don't give a fuck? Anybody can die. And because then when you do that, not only do you have the karma, or what go around, come around, you're reaping what your motherfucking ass sow. Not only do you have that of doing it to your intended target, but also to those, another person, or however many people. You know, a car accident can be more than just, you know, two cars. I mean, it can turn into a huge pile up, a huge situation. Do you take into consideration all those people that you killed? Or that you might kill? Not unalive, goddamn, kill. Because that's what you did. That's what you're setting out to do. You don't give a fuck who it is. Or maybe you just want the person to just, well, I just want them to get their car messed up so they had car troubles and they don't have no car and they can't drive for a little while and I can get online and make fun of them and I get the phone call, there was a bad accident, they don't have no vehicle now, hey, and cause drama in their life, okay? But what if it turns into something worse than that? And even if it's just that, do you think about the person, okay, your intended target? I don't want them to get killed or nothing. I just want them to be down without a car for a little while. What about the other people that they may be in the accident with? What about their cars? And putting them in a fucking bind. No, because you sat down and decide and plot and planned it, talk to little devils and demons, or your deities, or whatsoever, and your candles, or whatever the fuck it is that you do for an intended person, a particular person that you're targeting. You're fucking, you're stalking someone and targeting them. You don't want them to have a car. What about the other people who they may get in an accident with? You don't want them to have a car, either people you don't even fucking know. Or if your intention is for them to be unalive, no, fuck that, killed, because you will have killed them. You will be deemed a murderer. No, maybe the judge and them don't know, okay, the 3D people don't know, but the greater, God and all them, they know. Like I said, everything is fucking recorded. What about those other people? You don't think you're going to have any karmic debt for that? You don't give a fuck about them. All you give a fuck about is yourself. And your fucking pride and ego to destroy someone. I'm just curious. Do y'all, I don't have the comments open. And they won't be. What about those people? You're going to have some shit on your head from doing it to the person you're targeting. But besides the person you're targeting, because I mean the cars was flying at me left and right. Shoom, shoom, shoom. People going into lanes, not clearing, not making sure the shit is clear, just shoom, shoom, right? I mean, it was just all fucking day. I just sat there and laughed. I said, look at this shit. But the motherfuckers just won't stop. What about them? You got somebody out there, they done became possessed with whatever it is you sending them to kill your intended fucking target. And here they may never come to. Back to their reality, back to themselves. Do you care about them motherfuckers? No, you don't. You don't. So, and you ultimately don't give a fuck about yourself. No, maybe you don't know. You don't think that you're going to have to pay for that. What if that person got a family? What if they're responsible for a family? Children, spouse, or whatever the fuck. Even if they don't have nothing, it's just them. You don't care about them? You don't think you're going to have any kind of karmic anything for killing them? Like the person you intended to kill? Or what if, like I said, if that person you intended to kill, you wasn't successful with that, but you killed other people. The people that you possessed to act a goddamn fool on the road. I was just wondering. Once again, get into the Four of Swords energy, that contemplation. Before you just do dumb shit because you don't like the bitch. Or you want the bitch this, and you want the bitch that, and fuck that bitch. But what about the other motherfuckers on the road? I don't know, it's just some things to think about. All right. You all have favor. Peace.